Hi, my name is Brian Danielson. I'm with Integrity4Maine, and my question is for Bill Entwisle.
What town, sir?
Bangor. Your platform has been that you're proud of your work, you're proud of the work of the DA's office, and you plan to continue the same work that they've done all along. Considering last year, Mary Kellett from your office was disciplined by the Maine Supreme Court for violating the civil rights of a gentleman, and the continued violations of your office with the recent bar complaint against both you and Carletta Bassano. How do you feel that you are qualified to make any changes to the current problem in the office?
Well, I'll repeat what I've said before, and that is that I am very proud of the work that our office has done. I've been proud to work with Mary Kellett for the 11 years that I've been in the office. She's an excellent prosecutor. She handles some of our toughest cases. She handles sexual abuse cases, child abuse cases that are extremely difficult, extremely challenging, and she does an excellent job at it. She is a strong advocate for public safety and for the safety of children and the safety of victims of some of these horrible crimes. I'm proud of the work that I've done. The bar complaint that Mr. Danielson refers to is a complaint that addresses issues of process. It addresses issues of how cases are handled. We handled, in 2013, in this district, we handled over 3,000 cases. The process that we follow, we're obligated to handle those cases and provide discovery materials to the opposing party in every case. We're held to the highest standard in doing so. As district attorney, if there's issues, the bar complaint is it's scrutiny on our office. I accept the scrutiny. It helps us to improve the way we do our job, which is to protect the people and the safety of the people of Washington County and Hancock County. I'm well qualified to lead this office going forward. If there's issues, we'll correct them, and I'm the best qualified person to do that.
Anything from the other candidates on that?
I'll just briefly say that I think that it boils down to an issue of management. And that's one of the things that I addressed in my opening. A good manager will, even though that there have been problems or there's an issue that comes up, will address the issue. That hasn't happened. And whether Mary Kellett was right or wrong in what she did, and whether Mr. Entwistle's actions are right or wrong, their boss didn't come in and say, look, here's what we're going to do to fix the problem. And that's a huge issue. And that's something that I want to make sure that if we do have a problem, and I'm not going to say that I'm perfect and I'm never going to make a mistake, but I will come to the public and I will say, this is why we made a mistake and this is what we're going to do to fix it. And that wasn't done. And that's something that should be really concerning. And every time that the rules aren't followed in one of these cases, it's a really good possibility that the case is going to be dismissed. And then where's the victim in the case? No resolution. So that's why it's really important that these rules be followed and that the management make sure that they are.
Can I re-follow? Mr. Foster suggests that the problem hasn't been addressed, and it's really difficult for me to understand how he would know that. The issues are separate. Ms. Kellett was sanctioned for what happened to her, and we move on. And she continues to do excellent work on behalf of the people of this district. The other issues that are referred to in the complaint that Mr. Danielson brought have been addressed. And going forward, we'll continue to provide excellent service. I'll continue to provide excellent service on the people of this district.
No, nothing.
I'm Steve Jeskowich. I'm from Dedham, Maine, and for the first time in 12 years, I'm not on the ballot in November. But I'm not going to let the law enforcement officers get away scot-free here. The problem Mr. Danielson is talking about is discovery violations. That means, it's a basic rule, that defendants get to see all of the cards. You can't hide them. But there's been a serious problem, and in response to how Mr. Foster might know, in July of 2013, Mary Kellett was sanctioned for failing to follow the discovery rules. In December of 2013, a case was dismissed because the discovery rules were not followed, and the DA's office was fined $300. In July of 2014, a case was dismissed because of a violation of the discovery rule, and again in September. So from law enforcement's perspective, is there a discovery problem? These cases are being dismissed. And how do you perceive, Sheriff Smith and candidate Curtis, the discovery problem?
Well, we turn over everything the DA asked for. And at the Sheriff's Office, we have a couple of checks and balances in place. I've asked the district attorney when they send what we call the nastygram, looking for discovery that they haven't received, that the chief deputy and I get a copy of that, so we know that this situation either is addressed or not addressed. In fairness to the district attorney's office, in non cases they handle, sometimes they misplace or they have a discovery they don't think they have, and then sometimes it is wrongful. We haven't provided everything they've needed, and then we hold our officers accountable for make sure they do get that discovery. But if you're asking me about a particular situation that I don't know about, I don't know if that's what you're asking or not, but that's just how we handle it at the Sheriff's Office. We find very few times that, since I've been in office, that we've had a discovery issue. And in this case you're talking about, this wasn't the Sheriff's Office. We had turned over everything that we had for this particular case. There were many agencies involved, as you well know.
Barry?
Being in law enforcement, being on the receiving end of nasty notes from the DA's office, it does happen, and they are busy, I realize that, but Matt and I have had some time to spend together, and we've been discussing different ways maybe to work things out there in the DA's office, just on things like this right here. A lot of times, as a police officer, you're working so many cases at once, and there might be some small, minor thing, what we think is minor, that you might have left out. And I talked to Matt, and maybe getting somebody down here to help with the DA's office, help with the police officers on these small details that have to be done, to put it in, so that we can maybe get discovery on time. And it's, basically hiring somebody that comes in here to assist us. And I think that's probably an idea that him and I have been mulling over, and we'll see what happens.
Bill?
Sure. The district attorney's office handles a large volume of cases. Mr. Jeskowicz has been running for district attorney every 4 years since 2002. He clearly has an interest in presenting the view that he's presenting. I'm here to tell you that the district attorney's office has been doing excellent work on your behalf. And if there's cases, again, 3 cases out of 3,000 or more over the last year, clearly attention drawn to that is an opportunity for improvement. And I'm the first one to agree that improvement is something that we'll strive for. But that shouldn't take away from the fact that me as a candidate have been doing this job for 11 years, and I have the background and experience to know and to understand the systems that are in place, understand where they need to be tweaked, if there's changes to be made. I'm certainly the best suited one to be able to make those changes in a way that's going to best serve the interests of the people of this district.
Thanks. Let's do a little math. Mr. Entwisle quoted 3,000 cases a year. There's 7 prosecutors in the office, roughly 400 cases each a year. Say they only work 40 weeks of the year, that's 10 cases a week. If they can't handle 10 cases a week and get defendants discovery so that cases aren't dismissed, there's a problem.
May I respond to that? It's very clear that Mr. Foster doesn't understand the volume of cases that our office handles. And let me give you an example. Last Friday, we had in Hancock County an event in court that's called the dispositional conferences. It's an event when the court schedules a large number of cases to come and have an opportunity for a settlement conference or a discussion about resolving a case. There were 162 cases that were on the docket that day, spread between 3 assistant district attorneys. My personal responsibility was about 50. Mr. Foster had 8 cases. That's the volume that we're talking about here. And this is constant. To say that it's 10 cases a week is a total misrepresentation and a misleading representation of the volume of cases that we handle. And it demonstrates a clear misunderstanding of how our office works.
Obviously, we don't have court every day during the week. I don't have a misunderstanding of the fact that we have certain days that you go to court and all of the cases come up on those days. But using your time wisely and managing your caseload is a different matter. And by utilizing your time so that you can space out the attention you give to each case, it shouldn't be an issue with the number of cases that they have and the number of